Do you have a Monday morning bully holding you back? If you do, how often do you fight this bully? Do you fight it daily? So it's more of a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday bully? And you might be saying, I do. And why is this bully so powerful? Well, I'll tell you what, let's work together and learn how to defeat this bully. And a little tease, I'm not talking about a physical bully. Yeah, we can work on that too. But we're going to talk about the mental bully, the bully in your mind, which is the meanest, nastiest bully you ever face. And if you're able to overcome, battle through, and defeat that bully, you ain't got to worry about any bullies in the real world, because once you believe in yourself, man, that's when life changes. And it starts with, well, I'm going to tease you, our powerful intro to get you all pumped up, ready to unleash your inner warrior, to defeat that bully in your mind, to become the leader and the champion you were born to be. Are you ready to be empowered with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in yourself? To overcome your fears and battle through every challenge and bully you face, both real and in your mind? Are you ready to learn life-changing strategies on how to develop the right mindset and positive mental attitude to courageously stand out in the crowd and be who you were born to be? Well, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Building Warrior Confidence Podcast. Boom, let's go. Man, do I love that intro. Well, greetings and welcome to Warrior Confidence Unleashed. I'm your host, Master Rich Grogan, and I'm truly grateful you're here today. Hey, if you're new to the show and it's your first time, then welcome to the show, or hopefully that you love it, like it, and that you like and subscribe. And if we've earned it, give us that 5-star review. And if you're here again, you're back for more, for another round of Warrior Confidence Power, then welcome back, baby. Thank you so very much. And, just a reminder, if you haven't liked, subscribed, and given that 5-star review, please do so. That helps out so much, and we greatly appreciate it. Well, how are we doing today? Hopefully you're having a great day and that this episode makes it even better. But, there's a chance that you're fighting that Monday morning bully, or Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day you're listening to it, and maybe you're not having the best of days. Well, then I'm hopeful that this episode is exactly what you need to turn your day, turn your week, turn your month, year, life around. Sound good? All right. Well, this is episode number 359, and I titled this, kind of already teased you, The Monday Morning Bully. How to conquer not only that bully, but your fears and unleash your warrior spirit, kind of that inner warrior, to defeat that bully. And what we're going to be talking about today is, on this empowering episode, is how to really tackle and defeat that Monday morning bully. And what does that bully do? It tries to hold us back from being who we're born to be. But it starts by holding us back from taking that first step toward having a better day, maybe a better hour, and then a better day, and a better week, better month, year, and life. Because as I often talk about, the trickle effect, right? Yeah, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with what? One step. But that step, man, it's a tough one. That first bold step is probably the toughest step you'll ever take in your life toward a change, toward something better. And why? Well, often we get kind of set in our ways. We get comfortable with who we are and what we've done, our own habits and patterns and rhythms, if you will, or behaviors, and they just set in. And when you go to break free from that, boy, it feels like, man, the weight of the world's on you. It feels like everything's holding you back. And as if that isn't bad enough and strong enough, that's when the bully in our mind goes to town. I mean, think about it. Think's the last time you decided you're going to do something different. Maybe it's get up a little bit earlier. Maybe it's exercise and work out, and maybe you haven't done that in a long time. Maybe it's you're going to do a better job with your nutrition. Or maybe you're in a bad relationship and you're like, enough is enough. We need to communicate, and I need to take that first bold step and bring up the fact that, man, something's wrong here. That's tough. That really, really is. Or maybe you're in a bad job, or maybe you're not connecting with your kids. You're having a hard time. School's starting back, and they got in a habit and a pattern over the summer of sleeping till noon, and now they got to get their butts up at 7 a.m. And woo, man, that's a life change, right? And that's actually a really good example if you think about how tough that is. But then you make that change, you get into the rhythm, the routine, and you start getting up. They start getting up earlier and getting themselves to school, and then of course they got the homework kicks in. And if they're in sports, the afternoon or the evenings when they get done with school, you're running to sports. Yeah, so how do you squeeze all that in? Well, you just make it happen, right? You reprioritize your time. But it all started with that first bold step. Now, you might be saying, well, that really wasn't a bold step. Well, I want to humbly disagree. Yeah, it was. It's a change. And in order to make a change, you have to take that first bold step. And with school, really kind of out of your hands, right? I mean, even if you homeschool your kids like we do with Emmett. Well, actually, this year he's doing a hybrid model. And we've found a private school, good conservative Christian school that he goes to, and he goes on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Friday mornings for half a day on Friday, and then Monday, Wednesday he's here with us. And what kind of prompted this whole episode was this morning. This is Monday morning. We got up and went over and had a 90-minute PE class. Well, it was a workout at my buddy Dave's gym. And, woo, man, it was a sweaty, hot one today. I was like, you know what, we're going to do this thing. And it was good. But the Monday morning bully, for whatever reason, was fighting hard today. You know, it didn't, who knows why. Body was aching a little bit today. So the bully says, hey, you really don't want to work out. You need to rest. You're tired. You know what? You worked out yesterday. You don't need to work out today. Now, there are days when you do need to have some downtime and shut down and let the body heal. I get that. But it wasn't, I was tired, but nothing to keep me from working out. But the bully tried to convince me that it should. And then, you know, the old routine, couldn't find socks. For whatever reason, the sock monster, I'm sure you all have a sock monster. But it's kind of funny to say that because workout partner Dave, he's out of town generally during the week. So that's good. But I mentioned him the other day. I was like, dang, Dave, I'm running a few minutes behind. I'm having difficulty finding socks. He's like, finding socks? I said, yeah, the sock monster comes. And of course, we know who the sock monster is. If you've got kids and others in your house, the socks never match up for who knows what reason. I even bought just like 3 months ago a dozen socks. Just, I'm tired of, not having socks. I'm going to buy. Well, now I don't know where the heck those went. Now I've got one, but the other one, so it's a lot of mismatched socks. So we'll call it the sock bully. It steals her socks. What happens? I don't know. But anyway, back to the bully on Monday. So it was the socks. And then for whatever reason, I had a little bit of a stomach ache, and the bully's starting to add up wins here. Well, and I got up at 7:30, but then I was like, I'm going to lay back down a little bit, which is a no-no. I automatically lost the first battle of the day by sleeping in, and then it went from there. Yeah, stomach ache, sock monster, and but long story short, I got my butt over there. Emmett did as well, and we had a good, sweaty, hard workout, and it was fantastic. So we'll overcome that. Well, back to how I kind of started this with school, the routine of getting in the habit of doing school, getting in the habit of doing that homework, you adjust. You take that step because you're kind of forced to do so. And oftentimes, to get out of a rut or an uncomfortable situation or maybe a bad relationship or the fact that you need to have that conversation with your kids or with your boss or with your spouse that you don't want to have because it's probably not going to be a fun conversation. Well, I promise you this, the longer you delay, it doesn't get any better. It just continues to get worse, right? Yeah. Now, poor communication is the number one reason for, divorce, misunderstandings. Think about wars, right? People could talk and be rational about things. It'd be a lot better. But unfortunately, most people, it's tough. It is too tough to do because that bully in the mind, it's going to come up with all these excuses, all these reasons why you're right and they're wrong. And you may be right. I'm not saying, they may have quite possibly, we'll say they're wrong. But until you have the courage, the confidence to defeat that bully in your mind that doesn't want you to communicate, all that bully's going to do is feed you all these thoughts. And obviously, divorce, goodness gracious. I don't know the statistics, but I know it's just it's crazy. It's out of control. And of course, the biggest reason, lack of communication. Just refuse to talk to one another, to try and work it out. And a lot of times I'll bring up this topic and people will say, well, you don't understand my situation. And no, I don't. I don't know. I mean, if somebody, the person you chose to love or live with or marry, communicate, talk. I mean, I've been married, it'll be 27 years, goodness gracious, in a couple days. I got it on my calendar. I looked over, it was like the 24th. My anniversary date's the 24th. 27 years. Now, I mean, I love my wife. She loves me. We love our kids. But it doesn't mean it doesn't come without work. It does. And we have our days when I'll get on her nerves and she'll get on mine. We talk about it. And back to the bully in our mind, whether it be a Monday morning bully or a Sunday morning bully or Friday afternoon bully, that bully, for whatever reason, it'll plant those seeds, the weeds in your mental garden and suffocate those positive seeds. That's why we've got to conquer our fears, and that fear of having that conversation, having that talk, that fear of maybe getting that gym membership, that fear of maybe starting that exercise program or eating better, because any type of change is not comfortable. It's not. And we get too complacent in our comfort zone. Well, yeah, it may seem comfortable, but nothing good really ever happens inside that comfort zone. And once again, to reiterate, if you need to shut down for a while and take a break, absolutely. Just like our computer, if we get too many open tabs, that thing will slow down to the point where you can't get anything done. And it's pretty much screaming, hey, man, I need a restart here. I need a refresh. Well, the same thing with us. If we get to the point where we're burning the candle at both ends, we're running around crazy, we catch ourselves coming and going, and we need to have a little shutdown. And then we need to look at our calendar and see what we can do to make adjustments and changes. I'm a part of a group with my mentor, Chris Widener, and it's, what's it called? It's called Ancient Business Wisdom from the Book of Proverbs. And it's kind of a Christian entrepreneur group. And this past week, what we talked about was the gift of time. And what I mean by the gift of time is how we know how valuable and how sacred time is. And if it's your first time listening, something I talk about a lot, we can always make more money, but we can never make more time. Now, I get it. It seems like when bills are due, we never have enough, right? It's like, oh my gosh, we're skimping, we're doing this and that. But people, and hopefully you do this as well, will go to somebody to help you budget your money. Go to somebody who's a financial expert and help you figure out what to do, how to budget, how to spend your time, your money, and how to get all your bills paid, and then put some in a savings bucket and then some in a future bucket and those things. Well, we do that. But if we think about that time is even, not even, it's far more valuable than money. And why I say that is because regardless how much money we have, when our time is up, it is up. That's why I say you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. Doesn't matter how much money you have. When your time is up, you're up. It's done. You can't care if you're the richest person in the world. Elon Musk cannot buy more time. When it's time for him to go, he's gone. When I say that, because we need to make sure we maximize our time. And a big part of that's defeating that bully in our mind that wastes our time. But it was brought up in the group. It doesn't matter if it's Elon Musk or a homeless person on the streets in San Francisco or any other city. They both have 24 hours in the day. They both have the same amount of time. They both have 1,440 minutes in a day. They both have 86,400 seconds in a day. But it's what they do with that time that is the big difference between them. How they maximize that time. So back to what we were talking about, going to a financial advisor to help you with your financial, hopefully it's not problems, but if it is, definitely, and I've had my financial struggles, goodness gracious. I've been bankrupt twice, for crying out loud. Just didn't know what I didn't know. It was not a lack of effort. I mean, I put all the effort in, but I just was working extremely hard, but not very smart. Now I'm going to financial advisor and doing a little bit better with that because they're an expert. But the thing was brought up in our group was, how often do we really budget our time? How often do we really look at our schedule and see, and that's kind of the homework assignment we've got this week, is to budget our time, see what we're spending our time on. What are we spending our time doing? And is that a worthy investment of the most sacred commodity that we have, which is our time? Wow, kind of went down a different path there, but I bring all that up because the longer and the harder we have to fight that bully in our mind, the more of a time suck that is. That bully sucks our time away. And I know I've caught myself when I'm fighting that bully in my mind. I've got things I need to be working on, like our programs, which I'll be honest, I'm a little behind on. And also, I got myself in a little time crunch here, and I didn't do a Feel Good Friday podcast last week. Shame on me. No excuse. I just flat out didn't get it done. Had a few other things pop up, and I did not do a very good job of prioritizing my time. So it was kind of cool when for the meeting, they brought up about what are you doing with your time? I'm like, oh, so it requires me to go back and look at the schedule, see what I could have done differently, and really be. And I'm not saying ever be a slave to the calendar. I was just talking to my son Austin about that. You know, if you don't, Austin, he's my oldest son. He's 23 years old. I'm so very, very proud of him and all three of my kids. But Austin works for Tom Ziegler, Zig Ziglar's son, and he's their, I guess, I don't know if he's he sells the Ziegler programs. And in a short amount of time, I'm talking the last just couple months, he skyrocketed to one of the top salespeople. I'm really, really proud of him to work for Zig Ziglar's son. And he also works with Tom Ziegler, which is Zig's son, his business partner, which is Howard Partridge. And he sells both programs. So he was in Destin, Florida all week for a dream retreat up there, surrounded with, my gosh, this is the high-end group. It's like a $20,000 a year membership program to be a part of this. And they get elite training with Howard and holy smokes. But anyway, Austin's there. And man, I'm saying, buddy, just absorb all this stuff. And of course, the bully in his mind tax him a little bit. He's only 23. Do I really deserve to be here? You know what? I'm kind of tired. It happens. It happens to all of us. That's why everything I do here with the Warrior Confidence Unleashed podcast and our videos on YouTube, which, by the way, if you've not subscribed to our YouTube channel, Warrior Confidence Unleashed, or I guess the shortcut to get there, if you type in youtube.com, /Grogan's Bully Proof, that'll be a direct link. And everything will be in the description box, all the links to our channels and our website and everything else. But make sure you subscribe to that because, my goodness, putting out more and more content. But the whole idea is to defeat that mental bully, that bully in our mind, that bully that tries to hold us back, that bully that wants to keep us in that quote, quote, comfort zone, that bully that wants to, suck our time away, a bully that doesn't want us to make a change. And you might be saying, well, why in the world, why does our mind do that? Why does our mind bully us? Well, the biggest reason is kind of our prehistoric mind. Your mind has really one job, and that job is to keep you safe. And what I mean by keeping you safe is anytime you're doing something that's out of the norm, uncomfortable, that is going to be a challenge, that's going to make you feel uncomfortable because you're outside the comfort zone, or it might be a risk, your mind's going to go to town and say, whoa, wait a minute. What in the world do you think you're doing? Don't you dare do that. Don't you dare make a change. And the reason it does that, well, back to the prehistoric mind, part of the brain there is if the unknown, kind of, what was that silly movie? I liked it and the kids liked it, the Croods. Have you ever seen the movie The Croods about the cavemen? You know, if you go outside the cave, man, you might get eaten. And so it's best just to play it safe and stay in the cave. Don't go out. Don't be out at night. Don't wander off too far. Don't do any of that stuff. An example I like to give is back to the cavemen. If we're walking along and there's a bush, well, we know we better look around that bush because there might be a saber-toothed tiger there. And if we don't look, the one time we don't look, the 1 out of 10, and we get eaten up, well, then our relative's like, you got to be safe. You shouldn't be out here. So I know that sounds crazy, especially the example I gave with the Croods and this and that, but that is how the brain works. That's how the mind works. It's meant to keep you safe. Sort of like if you ever burnt your hand on the stove, well, now you learned, oh my gosh, that stove is hot. I'm not going to touch the stove again. That's a risk. Well, maybe you took a risk. Maybe you tried out for a team or applied for a new job, and you didn't get it. Well, then you start thinking, no, why would anybody give me a job? Of course I'm not going to make the team. I'm terrible. That bullying your mind. You're telling it that, so it's going to continue to chew on that. There's a part of your mind, in the subconscious part of your mind, called the reticular activating system. And what the reticular activating system does, it's a filter. And it filters, see, the average person has 86,000 or more thoughts a day, is on average. Now, if you have a highly creative mind, or ADD, or ADHD, all the stuff like I've got here, there's a lot of thoughts all over the place. But you would go nuts trying to focus on all those thoughts. So what the reticular activating system does, it filters out anything that you're not really truly focused on. And what I mean by focused on is anything. The example I like to give is if you bought a new car, and just say it's blue. Let's say it's a blue truck, Chevy truck. Well, suddenly you start seeing that blue Chevy truck absolutely everywhere. Well, it had always been there, but you never really noticed it before because you weren't focused on it. Now they're everywhere. Now you might like to think, man, because I bought it, everybody else is buying the truck because they want to be like me. And maybe that's true, I guess. Of course it's not true. I mean, as cool as you are, just because you bought it doesn't mean everybody's going to buy it. I'm being silly. But that's how the reticular activating system works. So with dangerous situations, it plugs it in the brain. And then also reminds you, when you're trying something difficult, hey, wait a minute. The last time didn't go so well. Why don't you just stay back here where it's comfortable? Well, why don't you just hold back? Well, that's a bully. What does a bully do? A bully tries to keep you from being the hero, the champion, the leader you were born to be. A bully holds you back from your greatness. A bully tries to intimidate you with fear, negativity, and self-doubt, so you don't believe in yourself. And when you don't believe in yourself, you're not willing to take the actionable steps you need to take. You're not willing to take that first bold, massive step. And that's, well, not only the Monday morning bully, but, any day bully in your mind. And then, of course, if you allow yourself to be bullied in your mind, then your confidence, your self-worth, your self-respect, your self-discipline, it all just plummets. And then the way you carry yourself, you no longer have your shoulders back and head up looking confident. You walk around looking like a victim. And oftentimes when you look like a victim, you're going to be a victim. And then the bullies in the real world, in the wild, boy, oh boy, they're going to chomp on you. They're going to feast on you. An example I gave in my my book, Becoming Bully Proof, which if you haven't picked up a copy yet, make sure you do so. You can get it on our website, warriorconfidence.com, or you can just go right to Amazon. Just type in my name, Rich Grogan, and you can pick up a copy of Becoming Bully Proof. But I give an example in Becoming Bully Proof of imagine a big, ferocious lion. You got that picture? Now imagine that lion walking around with his head down, his shoulders slumped forward, and just kind of moping around, wimping around, not looking brave, not looking bold, not looking courageous, not looking tough. Now, do you think the other animals in the wild, seeing this big, ferocious, scary lion walking around looking like a victim, do you think they wouldn't take pop shots at that lion, thinking, oh, king of the jungle, huh? Well, he's down. Well, now is our opportunity. Same thing as us. We walk around looking defeated, looking like a victim. Man, oh man, unfortunately, the predators in our wild are going to attack us. But it gets back to the bully in our mind, defeating that Monday morning bully or that any day bully. And I bring up Monday because, well, I'm recording this today on Monday, and I just mentioned the bully that I had to fight this morning, which seems like I got to fight that darn bully all the time. Well, here's the thing, though. The more often you fight and win with that bully, the stronger you become. However, the more you give up and let that bully win and become more dominant in your life, the bigger, meaner, stronger, harder that bully is to fight. Sort of like what I mentioned earlier, the conversation. If there's a conversation you need to have and you know it's not going to get any better until you have that conversation, trying to wait it out, man, it ain't going to get any better. Now, certain things, I guess if you wait it out to see how the cards fold or they lay out or whatever knowledge you like to use there. But when it's a conversation, you know it's inevitable, man, it's better to have that thing sooner than later because it'll do nothing but get worse. And like I said, it could be with your spouse, you're in a relationship, with your parents, with, your kids, or if, your kids play on a sports team, maybe you got a question for the coach. But of course, don't let the bully control you in that conversation. You write down what you need to talk about, maybe just some bullet points. So you go in there with, clear head, clear thought, but don't let that bully win. Back to the bully in the wild in the jungle, the bully, the lion in the jungle in the wild. Yeah. Look at, of course, that's kind of a hard thing to imagine. Even said in the book there, it was like, can you imagine a big ferocious lion walking around, defeated, shoulders forward, looking like a victim? That's hard to imagine. But if you can imagine that, and then imagine what everybody else would do to that lion or the other predators in the wild, well, the same thing with you. We've got to go out confident, got to conquer our fears and unleash that warrior spirit, that inner warrior. And exercise, I'm always an advocate for it. Man, oh man, I went a short while, probably longer than a short while, if not exercising regularly. And I tell you what, I was a personal fitness trainer for a number of years. My degree's in kinesiology, the study of human movement. I've been a coach, PE teacher, obviously a martial arts instructor for 30 plus years. I've been coaching athletics since I was like 14 years old. So what is that? How old am I now? Well, how old am I now? 53. So how many years that is. But so I know the powerful impact of that. But my schedule, I didn't plan for it. It didn't happen. And then, of course, the bully in my mind made excuses. And then I would get up and say, all right, tomorrow's the day. I'm getting back on my workout regimen. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start eating better. I'm going to start sleeping more, going to bed earlier. I'm really going to do this. Now, I set myself up. If I do it, well, now I've strengthened myself, my resolve, my perseverance muscles to defeat that bully in my mind. And on the days when I didn't, the bully would win and get stronger. Kind of reminds me of the story of the two wolves. And those that have heard the two wolves, here's a refresher. And those that haven't, well, hopefully this really resonates with you. The story of the two wolves goes like this. There was an old Indian chief who, obviously, grandfather, he's always trying to pass things on to not only his sons and daughters, but he had an opportunity once to speak to his grandson, who he found kind of hunkered over, crying. He went over to the grandson and said, what's going on? He goes, oh, I'm just tired. I'm tired of being scared of everything. I'm tired of being petrified. I'm tired of nobody liking me. I'm tired of being made fun of. I'm tired of failing. I'm tired of being a loser. And the Grand Chief said, well, you need to stop feeding that wolf. And the kid says, what wolf? And he goes into the story of the two wolves. Inside of us, we have two wolves fighting for dominance. Every second of every day, these two wolves are in combat. We've got a good wolf and a bad wolf. The good wolf is all about faith, hope, warrior confidence, belief in yourself, focus on success, focus on overcoming battles and overcoming our fears and battling through and coming out as a winner, coming out as a champion. That's the good wolf. It's inspiring. Then the bad wolf is all about fear, negativity, self-doubt, limiting beliefs. Focus on what you can't do. Focusing on your failures. Focusing on the times you came up short. Focusing on reminding you if somebody called you a loser at one point in time or called you stupid or slow or dumb, reminding you of those things. That's the bad bully. And like I said, these two These two wolves are constantly fighting for domination every second of every day. Some days the good wolf wins, some days the bad wolf wins, but they're always battling. And the little boy says, so Grandpa, when you say don't feed the bad wolf, what do you mean? Is that if I feed that bad wolf, is that who rules my life? And the Indian chief says, yeah, the wolf you feed is the wolf that's going to dominate. So how do you know which wolf's going to dominate your life? Gets back to the very beginning. The one you feed. You feed your fear. You feed your negativity. You feed your self-doubt. You feed all the horrible names that somebody may have called you before. You're feeding that wolf. You're making that wolf stronger. You're making that wolf more powerful. You're making that wolf where it will dominate your entire life. However, to silence that wolf, don't feed it anymore. Don't feed it that nonsense. Feed the good wolf, the wolf of faith, hope, warrior confidence, belief in yourself. Feed that wolf by doing your very, very best. Feed that wolf by not a matter of if, but when you come up short, which we often do. We often fail at things in life, but it's never a failure until you give up and quit. Keep working hard. Keep doing your best. Have the right attitude. Have the right mindset. Put forth the right amount of effort. That's how you feed that good wolf. And I like to think of the wolves are just like the bullies in our mind, right? Yeah. We got the bully in our mind. It's the bad wolf trying to hold us back. And then we got our perseverance, our resolve, our inner warrior. So it's kind of almost a battle between the inner warrior, the good wolf, and the bully, which is the bad wolf. Which one do you feed? And oftentimes, if we're not careful, that bad wolf somehow, some way, gets dominance. You know, those bad habits, boy, they creep in. They come from out of nowhere. And here's the thing on habits. And it's unfortunate, but this is the reality of things. Bad habits, man, they come out of nowhere. They're easy to adopt. They're easy to make. The bad thing about bad habits, as easy as they are to make, they're extremely difficult. Sometimes they seem nearly impossible to break. Because just like a weed growing in a garden, the longer that bad habit is left unattended, the stronger it gets, the more roots it grows, and the thicker it grows into your mental garden. That bad wolf sets in. Yeah. So bad habits, write this down. Bad habits are extremely easy to make. Like I said, they come out of nowhere, but they're so difficult to break. And worse than that, they're terrible to live with. Now, good habits on the other side, for whatever reason, and are extremely tough to make. Why? Why are they so tough to make? Well, they are. And then, as if that's not bad enough, they're hard to make. They're very easy to break. I think back to the example I give all the time about weeds and seeds. Weeds, bad habits, they pop up everywhere. I mean, think about it. A weed will pop up in the middle of concrete, and that sucker will grow. It's like, my gosh, what the heck? Well, it's sort of like bad habits. Well, you could take the most fertile seed and put it on concrete, and what would happen? Well, the sun would bake it, and it would never turn into anything, wouldn't produce whatever the seed was. It's maybe a beautiful flower, or maybe a strawberry seed, or whatever. It would just burn up on the concrete. But yet a weed can grow in the middle of concrete, like a bad habit. Well, a good habit, like the seeds, you got to work at it. You got to till the garden up. You got to make sure the soil is fertile. You got to water it, make sure it gets plenty of sunlight. It's like, son of a gun, this isn't fair. This isn't right. Well, no, it's not. We're not going to get into that, what's fair and what isn't fair. That's just the reality of life. There's bang, a right hook of reality for you. So seeds versus weeds. Good bully, I guess not good bully, good wolf versus bad wolf. Bully, inner mind bully versus inner warrior. It's a battle. But can you defeat that Monday morning bully? Can you defeat that Wednesday afternoon bully? Absolutely. Absolutely. But it all starts with one, you got to believe in yourself. And believe in yourself, you're doing the best thing you can do right now by listening to this podcast. And of course, I listen to a ton of podcasts too. Other powerful, motivating podcasts, things that plant the right seeds in your mental garden. One of the worst things you can do is get sucked into negativity on social media, or sucked into what I call the devil's workshop, which is the mainstream media. Yeah, all lies and propaganda and fear tactics. Because what happens when you feed that fear? Which wolf is the fear? The bad one. Yeah. And you say, well, I need to know what's going on in the world. Yeah, okay, well, every once in a while, check it out. Zig Ziglar used to say he would read the Bible and the newspaper every single day. And the reason he did that, because he wanted to make sure he knew what was going on both sides. That's what he said. So there you go. Listen to positive, get you pumped up, motivated, and if you need to dip into the dark side there and find out, stay in tune to what's going on so you know what's going on in the world. But don't get sucked into that trap, because, man, it comes in an abyss and you're sucked in, you can't get out. And then all that does is strengthen that bully. We don't want that. No. Because once again, whichever one we feed is the one that's going to dominate our life. And I'm telling you, each time you get up when you say you're going to, each time you hit the gym when you say you're going to, each time you say, I'm going to have that conversation, even I know it's going to be difficult, but you do it anyway, you're strengthening what I call your perseverance muscles, strengthening that inner warrior. Each time you put it off, each time you don't, each time you kind of like sweep it under the rug, think it's going to just take care of itself, you're strengthening that bully in your mind. You're strengthening those give up and quit muscles, because it just becomes a matter of time after we've been knocked down so many times, whichever ones we've worked on. If we've worked on getting up each and every time, we're going to have the resolve to get back up and fight another round. However, we've gotten a habit, complacency of just giving up because things are tough. Before we know it, we're giving up on everything and we're not fighting any battles. Woo, that's a lot, isn't it? Yeah. So just a reminder, my goal with this episode and everything I do is to help you unleash your inner warrior, to defeat that bully in your mind, to become the champion you were born to be. But man, I can't do it alone. And it's, my mission, my goal to share everything I've learned, all the, heartbreaks and setbacks and failures and mess ups and screw ups I've had throughout my life. And I'm open, I'm transparent. I share it with you, man. I've goofed up in more ways than if I did a podcast every single day, I don't know if I could cover every single one. But I've tried my best to learn from those. I've tried my best to do something that I'd never even heard of prior to 2012, and that big, fancy, tough word, self-educate. It's not a big, fancy, tough word, but I'd never heard of it before. What does that really mean? Well, self-educate is realizing, being humble enough to say, all I know is I know nothing. I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to admit my faults. I'm willing to say, look, I need help. I'm willing to say that I don't understand this. I'm willing to say that I want to take that first bold, courageous step, but who do I listen to? Who do I talk to? What books do I read? What podcasts do I listen to? What YouTube channels do I watch? What workshops and conferences do I go to? Man, like 2012, that was when things started to change for me. That's the first I ever heard of Zig Ziglar. Unfortunately, he had passed away that week. I was watching a webinar, and the lady conducting the webinar mentioned, it's a sad day that Zig Ziglar passed away, and then she proceeded to give countless Zig Ziglar quotes. I'm like, man, I gotta find out who this guy is. So I ordered an Audible book. Now, fast forward a few years, I'm Tom Ziglar is in my inner circle of friends. That's Zig's son, and Howard Partridge, Howard Partridge is Tom Ziglar's kind of coach and mentor to their business partners. Howard's a little bit older than Tom is, but Howard had a close relationship with Zig. So it's kind of Tom's mentor. And then my son Austin, at 23 years old, works for both of them. I'm bragging and boasting on him, because I'm proud of him. But then, my daughter Madeline, what she's doing with her job, she works at a little milk shop called the Shake Station here in Florida, and it fits her bubbly personality, but she empowers people at work, makes them feel good. And then she does, she's a character performer. So she'll do princess birthday parties. Like yesterday, she dressed up as Elsa, and she's a beautiful singer, dancer, and but helps these little girls' dreams come true by being the good, righteous princess. And then she talks about princess manners, princess respect, princess discipline. And so she goes, that's from all her martial arts training, of course. So she's empowering lives. And then my little buddy Emmett, he's only been a goalie for a year now, and he made the high school hockey team. I'm really proud of him for that. And he's got a shot at being the number 2 varsity goalie behind a kid that's been playing goal for, 10 years. That's hard work. It's having the right mindset, the right attitude, and willingness to do it. And all 3 of them have had to fight their bullies in their mind, just like every one of us. But they chose to battle through, overcome, succeed. So I bring all that up because, like I said, as of 2012, I'd never even heard, or prior to 2012, of Zig Ziglar. And that's been a life change for me. Another big life-changing moment was when I kind of brought it all together. I like to call it a 3-legged table. A 3-legged table is a physical leg, a mental leg, and a spiritual leg. And then on top of that 3-legged table is your emotional health, that tabletop. Now, if one of those legs is out of alignment, now your table's wobbly, right? Yeah. And your tabletop, your emotional health, is out of whack. Now, seems like, certain days we got to do what we can to strengthen the legs, and one leg's a little shorter and we got to work with it. Of course, I'm just trying to paint a picture for you. But the third leg that was missing was a spiritual leg. And even my grandma, when I was a kid, she would always say, Richie, that's what everybody called me when I was a kid. My parents still do, by the way. Richie, are you putting God first? And truthfully, I never was. I mean, I was always putting my own ego first. Occasionally I'd lie to her and say, yeah, Grandma, I am, whatever, just to get her to hush up. Now I realize, man, Grandma was planting seeds in my mental garden, similar to what Zig Ziglar did when I first started reading his books and attended workshops and conferences. Hopefully what I'm doing here with the podcast is planting seeds in your mental garden that one day will grow. Planted seeds in my kids' gardens. They didn't know what was going on, but kept bringing this stuff up. Positive, motivation, belief in yourself, not giving up, battling through. Life ain't easy. Life is tough. But we're going to battle through. Bad habits are easy to make and hard to break. Good habits are hard to make, but easy to break. So we got to work on that. That's planting seeds in the mental garden. Anyway, 2017, December 17th, 2017 was the day I was baptized. And boy, I tell you, that tub was awfully dirty when I got out of it and left a lot of sin in there. But it was something that was missing in my life. And that's what has helped propel me forward. Doesn't mean every day is sunshine and rainbows. Doesn't mean I don't have struggles and troubles and fears and challenges and battles like everybody else. It just means now my focal point, the mental, spiritual, and physical, that's what I focus on. I focus on trying to be the best person I can be today and it's kind of my daily prayer. Help me, please, grant me the wisdom to be the best father, the best husband, the best motivational speaker, the best podcaster, the best author, the best YouTuber, the best empowerment coach I can be, to help empower others to be their very, very best, to help empower others to defeat that Monday morning bully, to defeat that bully in their mind, to dig up those weeds from the mental garden, to plant the right seeds, to live the life they were born to live, to be the champion, to be the hero, to be the leader they were born to be. That's my goal. That's what I work at daily, and that's kind of my daily prayer. And that's why I'm so beyond words grateful that you take time out of your busy day to listen in. Time is the most sacred thing. We talked a lot about that earlier. And the fact that you're spending time with me, I promise I'm going to do everything I can to value that time, to give you the best information, the best wisdom, the best knowledge, tools, strategies, tips, tricks, whatever, to help you become your very, very best, to help you defeat that bully in your mind, to help you be the best parent you can be, to be the best athlete you can be, to be the best leader, entrepreneur, business owner, mom, dad, whoever, just to be your very, very best and to give you the tools to make that happen. Good. Oh, man. Thank you so very much. Now, as a reminder, if you haven't visited our website yet, make sure you jump on over there and check out our website. It's warriorconfidence.com. The direct link will be in the description box, so you can click on it and just jump on over there. Got a free PDF of the ABCs to bully-proof and building confidence. Click on that. You got to just throw in your email address and bang, we'll send you a free copy of that. And then, of course, if you haven't picked up my books yet, Becoming Bully-Proof and I Believe in Me, make sure you grab a copy of those as well. And got a couple programs that we're trying to put the final touches on, which will be great. One's going to be about the Bully-Proof program, and the other is going to be about empowering athletes. And that really is going to take, both parents have to be involved. And maybe not both parents, but both programs, parents have to be involved in order to make it happen. Obviously, if we have both parents involved, that's even better. But the program for the athletes is all about empowering them to be the very, very best they can be, and for hockey players, the best they can be on the ice, and for other athletes, the best they can be on the field. But more importantly, to utilize their unique God-given talents to be the best human being they can be off the ice or off the field, just in everyday life, and helping those athletes realize the position they have, the platform they have, the power they have to use that to be the best leader, not bully, because oftentimes, unfortunately, sometimes the athletes or quote, the jocks use their power to bully others. I mean, we probably all have a memory of a jock in school that was the biggest jerk bully on the planet. I know I do. I talk about it in my books. And so I want them to realize, look, man, and once again, my message, my programs, my books, my videos, this YouTube channel YouTube channel and podcast, it's not for everybody. But those people probably aren't listening in the first place. My goal is to empower you to be your very, very best, to have the tools to stand up to the bully in your mind. So not if, but when you face the bullies in real life, you've got what you need to not let them make you feel bad about yourself, or not take away your thunder, not steal your joy, or not steal your gift. Good. All right. So check those out. Quick shout out to my wife's business. She started a coffee truck business, and they just had their inspection by the health department, and they passed with flying colors. Fantastic. It's called Beachside Blend. And they're going to have, I'll let you know, I'll post on, which as a reminder, if you're not following on social media, make sure you do so. Our Facebook page and YouTube channel and Instagram page. It's Warrior Confidence is what it is, Warrior Confidence. So check that out. The links will be in the description box. But I'll post and I'll link up to her business page as well, because you can well, she'll have an event schedule. And you can either go to the events, or they got a thing where you can order coffee in advance. So you can order it and, say you're going to pick it up at 9 o'clock. They'll have it, they won't make it too terribly early. They want it to be hot for you. They'll have it ready for you. So, and you can come check them out. Extremely proud and excited and happy for her and her business partner. Guyla is the business partner's name, and Beachside Blend. So they're going to have hot coffee, cold coffee, Lotus drinks, and they actually gave some sample Lotus drinks out when the health inspector came out to do whatever they do to inspect the coffee truck. But like I said, they passed, they got their license, and they got their certificate, and they're all good to go. And they're going to start that in September. So just a couple weeks here. Whoa, we'll be out and about with that. So that's good. And the exercise fitness app I've been using for a while now. I got it today was like a 57th workout with the app. It's called FitBod, exercise and fitness app. It's fantastic. FitBod, the link's in the description box. I reached out to FitBod about possibly doing a podcast collaboration together, and I haven't heard back from them yet, but hopefully we'll keep moving. But I'm going to keep promoting them because I know they've done, the app's been fantastic, and I really, really like it. And Goshen Martial Arts, our former martial arts academy in Edwardsville, Illinois. Make sure you check them out if you're in the surrounding area. Master Nathan, my senior instructor and student, he's running it and doing a fantastic job with that as well. Good. All right. Well, we've covered a lot today. Covered a lot. And like I said, I apologize for falling behind and not getting that Feel Good Friday out. I'm working on the schedule again. We all have our strengths. We all have our areas that we are going to work on. And mine is trying to, it's turned into a bad habit that I'm working on to break. It's turned into a bully that I'm fighting with, is to do a better job with my schedule, to make sure I prioritize my time on the things that are most important, most valuable, which, by the way, is your family. And oftentimes I didn't realize that. I mean, that's just the reality of things. That's just me being transparent and truthful. So I'm spending a lot more time with the family, which is good, but I also got to make sure that I do a good job of continuing to keep up with the shows and the videos and get these programs done and everything else that I've committed to, because, my goal is to help millions and millions and millions who are battling with that bully within, to give them the tools and the programs and the tips and strategies to defeat that bully. Good. All right, folks. Well, if you liked what you heard here today, please make sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you jump on over to our YouTube channel. Listen to previous, not only podcasts, but our videos are on YouTube as well. Subscribe and ring that bell. And, of course, we love for the podcast here, those 5-star reviews. And then please also comment, leave your comments in the for the YouTube channel. And I can reply back to those. So leave your comments on the YouTube channel. Like I mentioned, the link's in the description box. What else I got for you? I guess that's it. Well, hopefully you enjoyed the stories. And, I know, if you found value in this, please kindly share it with someone else that you know could benefit, because inevitably our goal is to make society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live. And it starts by being empowered ourselves, helping, defeating the bully in our own mind to become the hero of our own lives, and then helping others defeat the bully in their mind so they can be the hero as well. Good. All right. I love you, folks. Thank you so very much for tuning in and for listening. You've got a gift. You're 1 in 8 billion on this planet. Please share that gift with the world. And until we talk again, you get out there and do your best, and I promise you'll be your very best. God bless you. God bless your loved ones. I can't wait to chat with you again real soon. Love you, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you so very much for listening today. I am truly grateful. My goal is to empower millions of people with hope, faith, and confidence to believe in themselves in order to make our society a happier, healthier, and safer place to live. But I can't do it alone. So if you found value in this message, please share it with someone else who could benefit from it, and by subscribing and leaving a 5-star review. Be sure to pick up copies of my books for yourself and someone you care about at www.warriorconfidence.com. Also, remember to stay empowered throughout the week by subscribing to our YouTube channel and our Facebook and Instagram pages at Warrior Confidence. Thank you again, and have a blessed day.